an hour early. Right. So I literally got to his corridor, looked at my phone, it said, WhatsApp, there's an air tag travelling with you. I was like, yeah, because it's in my queue case. I was like, where the fuck's my queue case? Oh, for fuck's sake. At least you left. Yeah. No, but the thing is, it would have been better if I'd left it at the clock because I go past the clock to go home. Right. So if I'd left my queue up at the other spots, it would have been easier for me to just go 2 stops back to Blackfriars and then go. I've just come off the coast.
Table 18, please.
Well, good afternoon, welcome back. We're still in round 1 of GB9 Tour 2 here in Spots and Stripes, Redhill, Surrey. Paul Taylor wins the lag, and then we'll break. Sporting an interesting choice of trouser colour. I'd have dress coded in for that, to be honest. Hugely underhit that one. The player chose to have a practice rack, not sure why. Maybe would have got the pace of the table. So just how close to the cushion that one was. See that well. Tried to play safe, but the 5-7. So Joe's probably going to be the heavy favourite in this match. Been travelling a lot to America for all events, I believe. He's done alright out there. He's on a proper size table there. Probably explains why he under hit his first shot. Only normally has to play it about 3 feet. Sam just chastising me now because I stole his headset. I've got to have the cheaper one. Can't go around someone's house and nick the player one controller, can you? That's not on. Yeah, so you can normally reach everything on a bar box, but this is a stretch. He's done alright there. Ultra aggressive is Joe. Doesn't play a lot of safety. Doesn't need to really. What I really like about those challenges is that they're straight from the rack. He hasn't bothered trying to iron them. Straight out the packet. Lovely, thanks very much.
Did win a prep? Winner or alternate? Winner or alternate? Alternate.
I was just taking the job of the referees there. I was just telling you.
I think it's winged and back. I'll double check.
Ryan O'Neill, table 26, please. Ryan O'Neill.
Yeah, it's cracking break. We'll be happy with that. Definitely got a strut, hasn't he, Joe? Like a Conor McGregor sort of walk.
Swagger, innit? It's not
Swagger, that's it.
swagger.
Yeah, that's the right way.
Yeah.
That's the right way to call it.
Aura, swagger. Presence.
Aura. I'm down with the kids. Always baffles me why players choose to leave the template rack on the side of the table, because it always come back to it. It always gets in the way at some point, and then they have to move it. And I would find that distracting. Just there's literally 3 feet away. There's another table that can be put on, just behind the camera.
Yeah, I suppose it's flow state, isn't it? That kind of thing. But yeah, if you do end up needing to move it while you're in the flow, then it breaks you, doesn't it? So in this, what I've found with this is there's not much coming away from the table to short the cue. It's just straight one shot to another.
Yeah, that's true. But that you've just reminded me. Oh, hang on. Oh, he's okay, I think.
Is that right?
You just reminded me of something else that I find players do, that I would personally find breaks my concentration, is they leave a lot of their cues. If they've got like a jump cue, they'll leave it in their. Some people will leave it in their case, and then only put it
Yes.
together when they need it.
Yep.
And like you could have put it together at the beginning. But you know, I guess everyone's different.
I suppose now though you are finding that less and less now that there is a lot of venues that have queue supports or queue stands at the side of the tables. Now each one of them, if they don't have the little slots to put your queues in, and you have got 4, 5 different queues, ends up being a bit of a mess in the corner.
Yeah, that is true.
With a high chance of a bit of bowling ball pin action.
Yeah, there's always at some point, especially later in the day, there's always the opportunity for someone to knock all the queues over. I can understand.
And with the price of a lot of the shafts coming in at, you don't want them dinged and about on the floor.
Sorry, table 27.
Well, that was a good break. And we got a good result. So, go on then, Paul. Show us what you got, mate. Just looking at his line, he's considering running between 7 and 8 off the cushion. I'm not a fan of that. So what do I know? You saw me play, so I know that. Yeah, didn't like it one little bit.
Well, it looks like you know a lot about this game.
I'm alright from here.
Lead on count 23, please.
Talking about the rack, would you move it now?
Oh, I'd move it after the first shot. Always. Yeah, I'd never ever leave it there. Because I tell you what happens a lot of the time, people leave it there, and then in a second, a few balls will go around the table, and a couple of them will land in the rack, and then they'll want it removed. Just get rid of it now.
Well, it's caught the 3 with not much of a result after.
Just looking over my shoulders, that 4-inch bar box table we were talking about earlier. I play an 8 ball on it, it looks very congested.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was looking at last night. We had a couple of games and you break on it. And it's the clusters.
Yes, that's the skill of bar box pool really. It's navigating the clusters. The potting should normally be easy, but not on that one. Bit of power from Joe, just get on and off that side cushion. No, I assume the 7 goes to the top right corner. Oh, he's throwing one in there, just trying to hold for the 7.
With this camera angle, it doesn't. I'm trying to use every camera angle we've got here to see if it goes.
Yeah, it definitely goes, yeah. Yeah, camera angle's good. It's your eyes that are the trouble.
And also remind yourself how much you can cheat the pockets.
Yeah, at the right pace, definitely. We'll just be trying to run this cue ball on and off the side behind the 8. Yeah, it's got some good distance. It's always going to be tough to cover that 7. The venue's filling up now as the last of the first round matches are starting to get underway. Good vibe.
The 3 practice tables have had some hammer already this morning.
Yeah, they're really good. So I can't tell you how much of a difference that makes to players when they can play, when they're not in a match. They're really, really good. They've got a good system here. You can sign up for a half-hour session. So you can get some uninterrupted practice. It's really good. Yeah, it's something they've definitely thought about for the players. As you can see on the back of all the GB9 shirts, it says for the players, for the game. And they seem to be doing the right things here.
I think the thing that I brought in for this event is the booking system on the practice tables. It then saves people hogging the tables. What kind of happened in Tour 1.
Yeah, big personalities tend to, people don't want to, push them off. Yeah. Simple as that. So, yeah, absolutely, booking system's good. Half hour's plenty, to be honest. And there's nothing stopping someone from booking more than one slot. So, no problem at all. Paul is on the board.
And where the 3 practice tables are, we'll show you in a minute after this rack. It's actually usually where 3 UK tables go.
Oh, so they've moved things around.
So every event, they take Tash and Nigel and the guys, they move them to the side and bring in 3 old GB9 tables.
Yeah, certainly they played all right though, because I had a bit of practice on it and they certainly play okay. But yeah, that's a lot of effort. Like moving the English pool tables, that's not so bad. There's nothing to them. But these 9-ball these 9-ball tables, they take a lot of effort and a lot of levelling, and yeah. So yeah, that's a lot of effort they've gone to just to provide a bit of extra features for the players. It's really good.
I know, you're right.
It's been a nice 1 foot pull just to be able to let it stroke out a bit. Yeah, he's hit that okay. Something I found when I played on the table, the cushions are a little bit slow. It doesn't come off at all as fast as you think it's going to, but the actual table, the cloth itself, is quick. So you've got to hit it hard enough to get the bounce you want, but not too hard. It's going to then run on. I think my lag hit about middle pocket. That's how much the cushion caught me out. Foster's a bit on and off the cushion. Yeah, he's done okay. If he can take these out, this will settle him down. Paul's a massive supporter of 9 ball, especially in the UK events. He's always there. Been to a lot of matchroom events as well. Held that well. So yeah, looks like, don't want to curse him obviously, looks like it should be 2-2. Yeah, nicely done.
2-2 it is, and here are the practice tables of the GB9 tour. So yes, the old SAM tables, are they SAM?
I think they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When I was repping GB9, which is a long time ago now, it was SAM tables.
It was
yeah.
first company that came to my head, and then I've said it, and I'm
You
trying
questioned
to look.
Yeah, no, definitely it was SAM tables when I was there.
They are bulky. They are heavy.
Yeah, those SAM tables that GB9, they had them specifically made for GB9 events, and I can't remember what it was, but there's something special about the way they were manufactured, which allowed them to be wheeled in and out quite easily, and then levelled quite easily. Because it was weird. They needed them to be movable.
I wonder if they had like jacking points. It might have been something as simple as that.
It was definitely something very specific to only those tables.
Yeah. So I do know when they are, because when they put the lifts in to move the tables, and they have something that bolts in to the tables. And I know these Clash tables have got something similar.
Yeah, when you're running a club, if you're moving stuff around all the time, you definitely need some help with that. Yeah, you don't want to be taking apart and rebuilding tables every time. You need to move one. GB9 Tour 2 just coming at a time when we're just warming up in the 9-ball world, ready for a massive summer. Got the World Championships in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia in just a few weeks. Yeah, that's the 21st to the 26th of July. A massive prize fund, $1 million prize fund, $250,000 to the winner. First time we had that sort of prize money was last year. Fedor Gorst won that. An incredible event.
Well, I'm just putting it out there, but I'm free that week.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if there's a spec.
Yeah. I think they've got it covered, but I will just check.
I'll cover table 38 and cover in corner or something.
I don't think there are that many actually. They deliberately don't have too many tables. They make a big spectacle of every table. It's really good. I think there's normally about 16, and normally we have sort of 24 to 28.
It is daft to say that like something like 16 tables is small.
Yeah. well, it is in a match room.
Yeah.
But last year there were 3 arenas.
Yes.
Within that, one main arena and then 2 on the side. And I say main arena, I've never seen anything like it.
That main arena was spectacular.
It was unreal. So a little story that I don't think I've told before is that I was refereeing the first match. I think it was defending champ Francisco Sanchez Ruiz against, I cannot remember. But they had a little walkthrough,
yes,
training with the MC and all that sort of thing, doing the announcements. And as they did the practice, there was these big old sparklers that went off right next to me. And I was like, right, I'm going to be aware of them, because I didn't know it was happening. And then we come to the main TV schedule, and the players are being announced. and I've stood well away from the sparklers. I know exactly what I've got to do there. And all of a sudden, as Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz walks past, these huge flames went up, literally less than a foot from me.
So you didn't see the flame spots on the floor?
No, but they didn't practice them. They didn't practice them, so I didn't know they were coming. So I could just smell burnt hair.
Just singed hair.
Yeah. I let out a very big expletive there. I was very glad that my microphone wasn't on at that point. But yeah, so I'm aware. But yeah, they've got all sorts of great things on the arena tables, all that sort of thing. It's just massive, great spectacle.
It's like when you watch the hairball arenas nowadays. Some of them that are coming out.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just lights for light's sake. Like,
but come on.
Yeah, but yeah, no, they do look great. They do look great.
You know, it just looks so photogenic.
Yeah. It's going to straighten up. And we might get away with this. To a degree.
Yeah, because I was meaning to ask Stephen Ellis how he felt playing in one, because he played in one of the arenas the other week. And he's like, wow.
These arenas here are really good. Really, really good. I'm massively impressed with the amount of space around this table. Normally when you go to an event in a club and they set up an arena, if you're refereeing, you see very quickly that nobody's thought about you, because you have to walk around the back of players very often.
Yes.
And there's often not room. Like, people have thought about room for queuing, but they haven't thought about room for someone else walking behind that. But here, yeah, there's loads of space. It's really good. Really, really good. It's a proper...
Refs and a camera crew are usually the afterthought, and then when it comes to it, and then they go, oh, we didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that's all right, we're used to it, aren't we, mate? We're used to it. So yeah, you've got the World Championships coming up end of July, and then there's a big old stint in America. We've got the first ever Florida Open, August the 5th to the 10th. And the big old US Open is back at Atlantic City, 18th to 23rd of August. And in between, before, during and after all those events, there's also other ranking events going on. So it's a good sort of 5 solid weeks of pool in America, just after those huge World Championships. I love seeing events like this in the UK, especially starting to take off again. A lot of effort from the guys behind the scenes, but there haven't been too many GB players at the top of the game recently. Obviously you can point out Jason Shaw being the exception to that rule, but in the past there were many GB players at the top of the tree. It just seems to have died out a bit.
I think it's one of them really. It's like any sport. You need a grassroots. You need 100%. The unsung grassroots level to help 100%. Bring it in. So if the GB9 tour gets back to... I don't want to say get back to how it was, because it's new generation, new team behind it. If it becomes that grassroots like football, like cricket, like rugby, then you will start to see the international players come a lot more.
Yeah. I really like what I tell you what I really like is that they haven't just taken the old vibe and transferred it across. So when I was reffing GB9, it was all very snookeresque. It was, you have to be completely silent, nobody can do anything, but now we got this vibe's lovely, people are talking all around, and as long as everyone's talking, it's actually not a distraction. It's when it's quiet and then there's one sound. This
is what I have with... Obviously get to travel with different cue sports, and there is other cue sports where it's a little bit too silent nowadays, because in most clubs now there's always a little bit of noise, there's always something. And it is like say, it's that thing where if it's deadly silent, then someone starts talking. That puts you off. Whereas if you're in a vibe where it's just anyone's chatting and music's going off, then
Moscone Cup, right? Moscone Cup. Obviously, I've never experienced an atmosphere, anything like that before. But I just, in awe, myself and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz stood in the centre of the arena. He's just clearing up to win the Moscone Cup. And the beeps go off on the shot clock. And we've had these beeps so loud because the crowd is so loud. And you can't hear them because the crowd are so loud trying to deliberately put them off. But as long as that, that's what it is going in, it's absolutely fine. You phase it out.
Buzz off it or phase it out,
You completely phase it out because everybody's doing it. So yeah, it's just when it's silent and then one person shouts or one person's phone goes on. That's when it's that's when it's a bit annoying, but it does feel a bit weird. So I'm a big fan of noise and atmosphere. I love it. But I much prefer it to the snooker quiet.
All the two sports, it's that kind of environment that it's been brought up in, so you have to keep it enjoyable.
Yeah. I think the majority of the change has come with regards to it was previously only snooker and everybody they had to behave and silent, and nowadays that's, I would say, maybe not even the top cue sport in the UK anymore. Like, it definitely is, viewer-wise, definitely is. But especially when you get people like Judd Trump saying things like, the uniform's outdated and stuff, which it absolutely is. Nobody wants to be. It's all right if you're at the top of the game, but you don't want to be in a warehouse in the Wirral with 3 people watching you, and you have to be dressed to the night. Like, it's crazy to me that they still do that a lot of the time.
I think some events, it's an interesting one, some events should still have it. Like talk about the Masters and the rules at a certain dicky bow and a tie at certain times in the matches, the World Championships, they should, it should still be the full set for that, because it's still that type of game. It's same, we have the same talks in billiards, with World Billiards. We've talked about some events having it where you are allowed to just wear a polo shirt or go to something like these shirts, where you're wearing something a little bit that brings a bit of personality about the players or something. And then you've got the high ranking events or the high historic events where it should be how it was, or I don't want to say how it was or how it's meant to be.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable take.
So imagine World Championships, someone coming in with a shirt, just a polo shirt with a load of graphics on it. Couldn't imagine that in Crucible. Say that though, throw this one in. If it moves from the Crucible and goes to a general arena, then it changes the general aesthetics of the thing. Maybe then you go to a different uniform. But anyway, that's a different cue sport, that's not GB9.
So we need to get back to what we should be talking about, sorry about that. So Joe, taking these out, he struggled a bit with his cue ball. He moved a lot on that shot before he actually delivered the cue, or as he delivered the cue, which is probably why he didn't pull it back as far as he wants. Now he's got to go a bit of distance away from the 8 before he tracks back towards it. Just considering whether to go with a lot of backspin and go 1 cushion up and down, or whether to go around 3. Decided on 3, that's not bad.
Yeah, a lot of room for error there on the 3 cushioning, using the natural weight of everything just to carry forward. You're not fighting against anything, are you? It's fine here.
Paul will just want to try and hang on to his coattails for as long as possible. Looked a bit kicky to me. It was like the one jumped a little bit and it went very low. Probably wasn't touching the ball behind when he set them up. Don't think that 3 ball's going to be a problem later on. It looks like I might be able to squeeze past black 8. He's decided to try and break it open anyway, and doing so he's missed the pot.
I've just noticed our in-house videographer is currently on the table playing.
Well, it's all about Korean Scot Benjamin Grady. He is a very talented man, and he can play a bit. He can play a bit. I wasn't really aware until until we had a couple of racks in Sarajevo, a bit of downtime, and he can play a bit. One of the nicest guys I've ever met as well. And very, very talented. There's a lot of the videos for Matchroom and their broadcasts and many other people as well.
It's funny now that kind of got to know Ben a lot more. When I watch a video, and it doesn't have to have his name on it, but it's got his editing style, and it's a known fact, you know, that everyone's got their own editing style, and that's what brings it, and that's what can be hard working for clients often, is if you have your own editing style, your own fan made, and you put that across, that's what sells more. And it's the same with how we do the broadcasts and everything, but yeah, it's, you watch there and you go, that's one of Ben's videos, that.
Yeah, well, I watched the first tour, and I even sent the GB9 committee a little message just saying, just so you know, I've just seen the videos, and they are incredible. They're really they're like Matchroom quality. And they responded back to me. They said, well, they should be. It's the guy who doesn't. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's weird. It's got the same kind of vibe. It's got the same cut action. It's got the same fit.
Oh, he just let up on that straight there, and he nearly missed it. Something I find with 9-ball that's different to other cue sports is you can't really just drop them in. The second you let up on the cue, you cue straight across it. But yeah, he's got away with that one, just wiggled its way in. But now he's got a tough task to get on the 7 after the 6. Tried to hold it.
Interesting you mentioned about the bit about just rolling them in and dropping them in, playing certain shots. When I very first started playing this, that is what I struggled with. You play a lot of like stun shots, or what you think would be stun shots, and you quit a little on it, or you don't follow through as much, and everything just goes nowhere near where you planned.
Yeah. If you could, in certain circumstances, like especially when you've got very little angle and the cue ball's going towards the rail, I prefer to play them a lot harder and go on and off the rail than just try and drop them in and hold the cue ball. Because as soon as you quit on it, it's, you miss the ball.
Yeah, once, it took a few racks to get that kind of play style out of my head and play a lot more top than screw. That was the other bit that I found was, use your rails, they're your best mates.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Following around off 2-3 rails isn't unusual at all.
After a few racks, I thought about signing up to matchroom events.
The trouble with that...
And then I saw how much each cue costs. I thought,
Well, you need to get yourself a sponsor like all the top boys now. He's done well to hold that cue ball down the bottom of the table, but he's a bit unlucky with where the sevens finished there. Yeah, a lot of the top boys, obviously, they don't pay, do they?
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? That's the...
That is something though with 9. I mean, you've reminded me of something else that confuses me a little bit, I guess, with 9 ball, is that players always chopping and changing their equipment. And yet in other cue sports, like I got a snooker cue I've used for 30 years, and I'll never change it because I try someone else's snooker, I can't use it. But every week there's something new on somebody's cue.
Yeah.
In the 9 ball. It's almost like, how do you get time to get used to it? But they seem to adjust to it. But then that's what better players do.
Yeah, the amount of different shafts and butts that are on offer, it's crazy.
It's confusing. Confusing first off. It took me a long time to learn about the cues and things.
It's better to fly with though, having 50-50 cues instead of full size.
Well, I've only got a little 2-seater car, right? And you can't put a full size cue in it. So yeah, it's very handy.
Yeah, as I've started playing more with World Billiards and travelling around and flying with my cue, it's well expensive. Extra £100 just to throw my cue on.
Yeah,
So do you 54-inch cue as well?
Yeah, and the horror stories I've heard, I've missed a trick there. I mean, you left me an open goal there to say but I've missed it. I'm not going to go back to it now. But yeah, the amount of horror stories as well of people having their cues snapped and lost, and it's not really something you want. Yeah, if you could take it on, and it's good. But no, obviously these guys still have to take it, put it in the hole and things like that.
I saw one lad though, he literally just got it out of his suitcase. Well, that's perfect if you've got a decent sized suitcase.
There's definitely ways you can iron them. Yeah, there definitely is, but I don't want to say them too loud.
Gone are the days where the old boys would just take the cues on the plane. But no issues. Just have it splintered side.
Was that when you could smoke on planes as well? Not that far back.
Yeah, apparently. I just take mine to me because you add my cue to me, it doesn't make any difference to me. I'll still take up the one seat.
No, I don't think it's very fair that you get only the same luggage allowance as me. Surely I've used mine up. If you're half the weight of me, you should be allowed to take more on, surely.
Shirts are extra small.
Yeah. Joe's still struggling with the cue ball a bit. I mean, he's managed to find his way out of it most of the time. Paul will be open for another chance. Overcut this. Overcut this. Raw emotion there. Yeah, probably overhit that, but rather that than underhit, that's not bad. Yeah, just kept that simple. Didn't try and take off 2 rounds, possibly involve the night. Quite a tough one to judge the pace here though. Yeah, he doesn't like it, it's a bit thinner than he wanted. I say those cushion bounces, a bit tricky to assess. Just seem to take a bit of pace out the keyboard. A bit softer, a bit hard, but don't hit it medium. No, it's tricky. Right on that rail. Sesta. And he hasn't passed the test. It's gonna run safe, is it? Safe-ish. Well, I'm surprised at that choice. He had an opportunity to play the bank back towards the pocket he was playing for, and play at the right pace. And if he missed it, it would go pretty much centre of the top rail there. No, he just committed to the safety, but he has left a sniff. Also just trying to play safe. Didn't want a double kiss though. Joe nails it. It's now 6-2.
One other thing we'll mention about Spots and Stripes here in Reading is every single table has the bifold light system, or the TV lights as what some would say. What a difference that makes to the playing conditions. Shaders? What shaders?
Yes, nothing better than decent lights. Yeah, I'm going to plug one of my colleagues' systems. 8-Ball Direct, Alan Yates. Hello Alan, if you're watching. He's got 2 new systems out. A halo light, which is like the rectangular sort of light, and the I-beam, which is just a straight line. But if you have a look on social media, you see the difference. One of the clubs has set up their cameras and they're taking a before and after picture with no changes to those camera settings, and the difference in colour is just unreal. Now it's been properly lit up, and yeah, no shadows, like you say. It's just yeah, decent lights, well worth the money. Paul misses the one inside this time. He hit that one a bit fuller. I don't think anyone will struggle quite as much at the break as I did, but he seems to be getting there. Just running around the back of this 7, that's lovely. Great little shot that. Made that look really easy. Remind me of a little story. I'm not going to mention names, but I was refereeing an English pool event where the tables were very close together, and they had just some very basic lights. and the players on one table asked me if I could possibly move the shadows that are on their table that were coming from another light from another table. I mean, a resounding no was the answer. It's like to just drop them in occasionally. I always think that's the time that I'm probably going to miss. But hey, if it works for him, it works for him. I was going to say, it's very quickly 70, but he's just thrown one absolute howler in.
No, gimme.
Even I might have made that one.
No, not this shot.
Ah. Well, let's take it anyway. It's a gift. He'll be kicking himself if it gets close, though. This is where there was a big argument for winner breaks, because that's a big mistake there. And in winner breaks, Paul gets the opportunity to really punish him and make him sit down for a couple of racks. But now it's alternate break. Joe gets straight back to the table.
It's an interesting thing. I actually like winner breaks. I actually tried it in a few English pool comps that we've done. It's actually worked okay in that, because it's like, say, it's that thing. If someone's thrown an absolute wobbler and you've capitalised, not only it's that thing, isn't it, making them sit down for a lot longer.
You make them think about the mistake. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joe's got an opportunity. And to be honest, I don't have either a preference either way. Like, I can completely see the pros and cons of both.
Yes, yeah, that's it. There's a list of pros and cons for both.
But when something like that happens, I do just think, do you know what? It'd be really good if you could just make him sit down.
Yeah.
Make him really stew on it.
I know in 9-ball the leg's quite important anyway, just in case it goes hill-hill. It's massive if you're playing alternate break. But it's even more consequential if you lose the lag on a winner breaks scenario.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, there's an argument. People say that, someone just sits in their chair for 4 or 5 racks. It just doesn't happen. Like, it really doesn't happen. Like, I think I've seen 4 racks in a row, maybe once. But really often, people get chances,
but just don't capitalise on it.
Just don't capitalise on it. Or sometimes they're stuck just playing some safety shots that they don't play very well, and then they let the other player back in. But people don't just sit there and not play. That doesn't happen, especially on the tough conditions.
It's quite funny, 'cause, I know just before the UK Open, Andy Goldstein was having this conversation on Drive. Andy actually plays, not from this Spots and Stripes, from the one in London, more central. To me, they're both in London. But one near Battersea.
Is everything south of you London?
Well, if it's around the M25, the Ring Road, it's all in London.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a really long conversation about it. I think it was Gabby. He just couldn't understand how someone could be just sat there for 4 or 5 racks. And they were saying, well, you do get your chances, but it adds a little bit of pressure on them chances.
Yeah, it definitely does. But it's great when you get a a winner breaks match that sort of still has those swings, it has those momentum swings. I always think back to the Mika Immonen, Shane Van Boening World Championship match. Must have been 22, I guess, when Shane won. When Mika was 10-3 up in a race to 11, and Shane came back. But Mika still got chances. It's not like he sat there from 10-3 up and didn't. He still got plenty of chances to play safe, and there was a couple of chances he could have easily taken out the rack and just didn't. But that's when somebody's building some momentum against you because of that winner breaks format. That's what it can do. It can break you. But as a player, I can understand not liking it because...
That's a lovely shot from Joe, though.
Yeah, as a player, I can understand not liking it because you go to an event, you lose the lag, and you're 3-0 down.
Yes.
I
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
I do get it.
But then that's why double elimination was invented.
So yeah, Joe just pulled back. First time in this match, maybe. It's properly played. Good safety. Shouldn't get ball in hand after this. But it's tough for Paul to get anything safe here. Looks close to that middle pocket, but it's really, you have to hit it pretty accurately to get it in.
So,
wow.
Oh my.
Oh, I thought that was in.
Ben's just asked me if I got an overhead camera. I said, how? I can't reach. The amount of step ladders we'd need for that to happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
We did actually try one, to be fair. We have tried one, but unfortunately the light's not high enough.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't look. Also, the way it's mounted, it would be tough to hang something from that. Yeah, I get that.
No, we drilled the hole. It just sat bang in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not high enough.
No, fair enough.
It's amazing how far up you need it for these 9-footers. Your little bar boxes and 7-footers, you're absolutely fine, generally.
He's tried to play the 9, he's chased it, he's got it. Lovely little shot. There we go, that howler in the last rack, immediately forgotten.
I knew whoever got to the final was basically a shot. So you saw it early. Yeah. That's why when I played the Sloop, I was hoping to not move.
Paul's in the same situation I was. 7-3, down. He needs to get something quickly. Otherwise this one's going to be over. Very full contact again. Sort of got away with that.
Nice safety shot.
The odd safety break. Absolutely horrible. Because you're very likely to leave it near that corner pocket. And you're very likely to leave it some sort of shot. Yeah, he's left something. I mean, he's made it pretty difficult. Nice little cut shot that was. Is he going to get lucky and be able to see this too?
You can see it, but that is unfortunate. It landed there, really.
But it should be a pretty simple safety shot. Joe weld into that 6 with the cue ball if he can. Ooh. Hit it too full. And into the 6. So he's just left the table for Jerry. Lovely cue in, but he didn't want to be there, especially at the straight. Might have to play this cushion first. And he has overcooked it. It's got to where he needs to get to, I guess. This is again straight. This one out's getting harder and harder. Pretty much worst outcome. That's a shot to play at 7-3 up. Just a free roll, I guess. I'm just checking that 5 goes. It looks it from the camera angle, but it might be a lot tighter than what we can see it. Checked it a couple of times, so maybe it's not as easy as we think. Suddenly got a bit awkward. Getting over the 8, not a lot of angle. Missed it as a result. Not happy with that. Not very into himself as he goes back to his jet. And he's first on the hill at 8-3 up. Just around a couple of the other tables. Ramesh Gokul is 7-3 up on Carl Williams. Ramesh, a very handy player. You can see them all there on your screen. Ashik Nathwani going well, 8-1 up. Liam Monk 7-4 up. Phil Wildman 7-3 up on Stephen McKinley. Tom Staveley, Ryan O'Neill, that's a tasty match for a first rounder. 4-4. That's on the other stream table that you can see on the Spots and Stripes YouTube channel. I can't call a winner there, to be honest. Better from that break. It was a really solid break. He's going to push for the first time in this match. Just leaving distance. I'm going to tell you what, that's not bad. Best shot he's played in the match. It's free stroking these now. It's loosened up. Looks pretty straight this, so you might have to pull it straight back off the one side route. Or I could just go forward a little bit and leave more distance to him. Yeah, there's a bit of angle there. Still have to find a lot of distance. Just about found a home for the 7. And that was all right. Took that out well. Yeah, it's always frustrating as a player when you start to free up your arm when it's getting towards the end of the match. Benji Buckley going well. 8-3 up on Anthony Stevens. Dean Sportman on the GB9 committee. 1-1 with Mark Foster.
I thought it'd gone quiet behind us. That's why, because he's playing.
Yeah, it's the only time for that. Again, the one ball just jumped in the air there on contact, suggesting he left a little bit of a gap. And he might have just left an edge of it. But cue ball is going. Can avoid the 4. You're okay. as thin as I thought it was. Very happy with that. He had a lot of balls to hide behind. Didn't find any of them. That's some of the pros, mate. Look very easy. It's the safety shots. You can see if they haven't got a pot on, it's almost like every time they leave the table, they're leaving their opponent in trouble. But it's a very difficult thing to do. It's just fluked. The double. Held his hand up straight away. He didn't actually mean it. So, good chance of playing a really telling safety. Decided to run the 3 into the black 8, which wasn't a bad idea, but he didn't catch it full enough. It just snuck out. So, chance for Joe to return the favour. It's a really loose shot. Again, I think it's a bit different. Your 8-4 up. Probably would have put a bit more time and thought into it if it was closer than this. Paul's not out of this yet. Just snatch one here, snatch another one. It's getting very close all of a sudden. Didn't leave himself the top angle, so he actually played a really good safety. I think even if Joe hits this, he's going to leave some sort of shot. Cool. Doesn't hit it. It was an adventurous line, to be fair. So ball in hand now. But he knows he can't make any mistakes. Perfect. Joey seems to have snooker-esques. Just retrieved to play his next shot. And you see the old school crosshead rest. To be fair, a lot of the British players will be used to those anyway. More used to those than the old moose head. Or any other variation of bridge. So 8-5 now. Like I say, if you get another one, suddenly the pressure's going towards Joey. Bit unfortunate there. Got a couple of kicks. The cue ball found its way into the corner pocket. It was a good solid break again. The break has been good. Obviously the only really tricky thing on the table is the 4-7. Easy enough to make, he just needs to assess where the 4 is going to end up, what angle he needs to move before the shot, so he can put the white into a position where he'll be on the 4 afterwards. He's trying to leave the cue ball on the rail, which he hasn't done. This is still manageable. So this is about a half ball cut, 4 on 7. So the 4 is going to track almost diagonally. He's playing really soft. Well, I didn't think he could hold it. I was going to talk about possibly leaving it towards the middle pocket or possibly at top right. But yeah, he played that well just to leave it there. He was overcomplicating things. Cool thing about the GB9 ball is that you can do all the hard work, and if he doesn't hit this one, it's match over pretty much. Absolutely heart of the pocket, really good. So now we are at 8-6. Joey thinking. Just walks in towards the line. And if he doesn't win this one, you'll really feel the pressure. he's had a couple of breaks where the one ball sort of jumped up in the air and then landed low. He wasn't touching the balls probably. That looks more solid. He hasn't made the one, but he has made a random ball. The three's gone in. And he's got a shot on the one. He's not rushing this. He's giving every shot the attention it deserves, which is absolutely what you need to do. Leave it straight is absolutely fine. That's lovely. Just going to force this away from that cushion a little bit. Get it down, we're coming back a couple of inches. A bit more of a cut now than he wanted. Yeah, he missed the 9, but he played it in such a way to leave the cue ball at the top of the table. For the match then. Absolutely nails it. Really good shot. Started to come under a bit of pressure but came through it. Well done, Jay. 9-6 winner. We'll be back with you as soon as we can be with the very next match. So see you soon.
Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, a moment can live on forever.